Back then, sometimes they did a master volume in 2 tones, but personally I would do 2 volumes in a master tone and then a 3-way switch. So on this particular guitar, the original paint is there, this cream colored, which is really cool, and hopefully the original paint is under all this stuff too, and you'll be able to get that off carefully with acetone, and hopefully that it's probably a black headstock. I saw some custom colored ones, but this is probably a black headstock with a gold decal.
What do you think I should put back in there for pickups? What would be close to what it came out of the factory with?
I could sell you a set of pickups. They used for quite a while. We used pickups made by Helmut Schaller, the guy that made the tuning machines. Like these tuning machines were made by Helmut Schaller in Nuremberg, Germany. That's the original machines on this too. That's an OEM machine. I could tell by the shape of the tab. But he made the pickups too. Now they're sold by Stuart McDonald, I believe, as golden oldies. But it's a Schaller pickup. I have a couple sets here I could sell you, just leftover pickups. But that's what I would put in here. And chances are they might have been cream, We used whatever we had. If we ran out of black, we used cream. Nobody cared, that's just what we put on the guitars. But this neck is in good shape. It looks like it's been pretty well played. I like it because it's got all the half moons on there from playing, And but this is a great guitar. I think you could totally restore this, Get the right parts. It's an original Floyd. It's in good shape. It just needs one saddle. The cam blocks are chrome. You should get a set of black. They're available through Floyd Rose Marketing. And even the original truss rod cover is there. It says Pacer on it, So this could be a project that could be restored back to its original state, Just got to get this crappy paint off here, And this is the way you got it, with this paint on it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I bought this from, it was like a collectible warehouse or collectible guy. It wasn't really a guitar seller or a guitar shop. So I don't know where they got it from, but it's got some crazy, to me it looks like a hippie guitar with all the peace signs, which I've never seen a hippie playing a Kramer. But
no way.
It was all about, rock and metal back then. So
man, so people did that to their guitars, But this thick polyester finish, this cream colored polyester, that's like rock. You can't hurt that stuff. Like, again, we just rubbed a little bit off with acetone, and we were able to get this color off, and then you could probably wet sand it a little bit and buff it out real good and bring it back to a nice, it'll be a little darker, it'll never be a bright cream again, but who cares? That looks original, This looks like original stuff in here. I don't know what the deal is with the foil tape. I don't know what that's supposed to be doing. I guess somebody thought they were grounding it or something, but it doesn't need to be grounded. But, I could always make this inlet plate here, but, yeah, with a little elbow grease, you could get this back to original shape. It's got the original, plate on it and everything. It's a good guitar, You could turn this into a $1,000 guitar. Just gonna take some elbow grease on this bad boy, though,
Yeah, I'm dying to get that paint off there. So probably this weekend I'll do it.
But I designed this body shape. This is a genuine Pacer shape, and the deal with that is it just had to be 10% different than a Fender, So I think I widened this, and I'll tell you why I did this. But I made this a little smaller, a little sexier. But I made this wider because I thought it was important to have a lot of room in here between the body and the inside of the horn, so you can get your whole hand in there without banging your knuckles. A lot of people don't think about that, And you don't need any crazy carving or round heels or anything. Man, I could put my index finger on that high D note right there, just because there's enough room in here. If you look at my Unkert guitars too, that's a really wide space in there, just so you can get in there. But yeah, and this neck was made by the Godin Guitar Factory up in La Patrie, Canada. That's Robert Godin. It's called La Cido is the corporate name of the company. But Kramer used a lot of different vendors to make their necks. They used ESP necks. They used the necks made in Canada. I don't know who else made some necks for them. Probably Canada and ESP were the main necks. But this is a Canadian neck. And the bodies, as far as I know, were made in Connecticut by a company called Sports Incorporated. They made all the original bodies and the strips for the aluminum necks, whatever wood parts, you know. And but man, this is a great guitar, you know. It's like a pseudo banana nose, the pointy banana nose. But that's the desired one, I guess, you know. So you're also, you know, just you got some elbow grease to put it, you know, get going here, you know. So
thanks
cool.
for taking a look
good
at
luck
it.
with that,
I
you know?
appreciate it.
But it looks in good shape. I think it'd be pulled back together once you get it cleaned up. We could set this up real nice for you. And I think it's important to restore some of these guitars, you know. You know, they're all getting beat up and people do this to them, you know. So why not take a little bit of effort and try to restore it, you know? So.
Well, I appreciate you looking at it. Thank you very much.
When we get to work.
Yeah.
When we get to work.
Definitely. Thanks.
I wanted to show you an Unkert guitar. So, of course, I own the patent on the V-shaped headstock, but I made my necks out of wood, and then I got the logo and the serial numbers on the back. And this particular guitar is made out of southern yellow pine that was given to me by Chuck Lavelle. He grows southern yellow pine, I guess, down in Macon, Georgia, and for commercial uses. But I was able to get a couple pieces of wood, and I just made that's an Unkert special. Specials were two P90s. So I don't have a whole lot left over. You know, I got one project I'm trying to build. There's a standard back there with 2 humbuckers. There's a junior, which is kind of cool. I like this guitar.
So you own the patent, whether it's aluminum or wood?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, I
So
own it.
Gary Kramer, who had, I guess, the original patent,
Gary
gave
Kramer
it
is
to
a
you?
very cool guy. I like Gary. I know him. He's probably retired by now. But they kind of got rid of him I think they kind of screwed him early on, you know. It's kind of a sad story. I'm not sure, I wasn't there for that, but he was only with the company only 6 months, I think. And the original corporation was called BKL, which stood for Dennis Berardi, B, Gary Kramer, K, and Pete LaPlaca, who was a cool guy. He was a saxophone player. But this neck, I made this guitar for myself. I was trying to make like an old Gibson style guitar with, like, you know, a Gibson color wine red finish. You know, I made a Brazilian rosewood board. But this is just a junior that I made for myself.
Are you still selling these? Are these for
no,
sale? They're
no.
not for sale? Okay.
I mean, I buy and sell guitars. But you know, I'm so busy as a repair guy. These are just some of my personal guitars here, you know. I mean, everything's for sale, I guess, you know. So, but I like, you know, I play acoustic music more than electric music. You know, I play banjo, guitar, mandolin, dobro slide guitar, you know. But I like old guitars. I like some new guitars too, you know. But I restore a lot of stuff, you know, and you know, there's a one-of-a-kind Unkert guitar back there. That was it's supposed to be a Sportster tank, and I painted it at the Kramer Guitar Corporation when I worked for them, and I dinged the body, and there was a chip on it, so I gave it to the guy who painted guitars for Unkert guitars, and without me knowing it, he brought it down to Nashville and had the top artist from Harley Davidson put the logo on it, and then he cleared it, and they gave it to me as a gift. Like, I didn't know it was coming back like that. It was kind of cool, you know?
Wow, yeah.
So, you know, Brian Jamerson was his name. He was the guy that did all my painting for Unkert guitars. And his brother Jim Jamerson, who owns a company called Musicraft, made the necks and bodies for me to my design. And then I would, you know, do some of the fret jobs and assemble everything, you know? So that's how we did it. I guess I could do it again. I can make Unkert guitars. If I had at least 5 guys that were interested in 5 guitars, I would make the investment, because my woodworker, you know, can only make 5 at a time. You know, it doesn't make sense to make one guitar to set up the jigs and fixtures and the CNC machine. But if people wanted Unkert guitars, I'll build them. But I got to get at least 5 guys interested to make it worth my while, you know. And I would do it. You know, I would have fun doing that even, you know. So, but these are just some of my personal guitars. I fiddle fart around in here, and you know, it's my own little, what do you call it, a man
Studio,
cave, I
yeah.
guess, you know. So there it is.
Well, thanks for showing us. I
Cool.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Come
All
back anytime.
Thanks. Thank you.